We all know the face, the wild hair, the mischievous eyes, the name synonymous with genius, Albert Einstein. But what if I told you that before he became that Einstein, there was another Albert, a younger man adrift, struggling, and on the precipice of a profound isolation that would either break him or forge the mind that changed the universe? Forget E equals mc squared. Forget relativity for a moment. Our story begins not in the hallowed halls of academia, but in a small, unassuming apartment in Bern, Switzerland, around the turn of the 20th century. Einstein, recently graduated, couldn't find a teaching job. He was, to put it mildly, an outcast. His rebellious nature and disdain for rote learning had alienated his professors. He was, for a time, unemployable in the academic world he so desperately wished to join. His salvation? A mundane clerical position at the Swiss Patent Office. Imagine the mind that would one day unravel the fabric of space-time, meticulously reviewing applications for improvements to electrical generators and brake mechanisms. It sounds like a prison, doesn't it? A gilded cage for a genius. But this quiet, repetitive work offered something invaluable. Time. Time to think. Time to dream. Time to isolate. He spent his evenings, his weekends, not at social gatherings, but in a profound solitude. He called his desk at the patent office his conceptual laboratory, and his small apartment his sanctuary. While the world outside bustled, Einstein was retreating inward, wrestling with the most fundamental questions of existence. This wasn't just physical isolation, it was intellectual. He was deliberately cutting himself off from the prevailing scientific dogma, from the opinions of his peers, from the noise. And in that solitude, something extraordinary began to happen. Unburdened by the need to conform, unswayed by established thought, he began to see the universe differently. He conducted what he called thought experiments in the quiet corners of his mind. What if you rode on a beam of light? What would you see? These weren't questions asked in a bustling university seminar. They were the solitary ponderings of a man lost in his own intellectual wilderness. He was a one-man intellectual revolution, happening in secret. Then came 1905, his Annus Mirabilis, his miracle year. From this period of intense, self-imposed isolation, he unleashed not one, not two, but 4 groundbreaking papers that would fundamentally reshape physics. Papers on the photoelectric effect, Brownian motion, special relativity, and the equivalence of mass and energy. He didn't collaborate. He didn't consult. He simply thought. And then he wrote. Einstein's lost years weren't lost at all. They were foundational. They teach us a powerful lesson that often gets overlooked in our hyper-connected, constantly on world. That true innovation, profound insight, and often personal breakthroughs can emerge from the quiet, from the deliberate act of stepping back, of silencing the external noise, and allowing your own mind the space to wander, to question, to be. So, the next time you feel the urge to disconnect, to find your own quiet corner, remember the young man in Bern. Remember the power of focused solitude, because sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't found in the crowd, but in the profound, fertile silence of your own mind.